Imagine this. You spent months planning the perfect vacation, saved every penny, packed your dream outfits, and you're standing at the port. The ship is right there, towering over you. But then, security pulls you aside, looks at your paperwork, and says,
Sorry, you're not boarding today.
It sounds impossible, but it happens every single week. And not just for obvious stuff, like an expired passport. In 2025, cruisers are being turned away for bizarre, unexpected reasons. Today, we're diving into the 11 shocking traps that could ruin your cruise before it even begins, with real stories straight from Reddit threads like Our Cruise Fails and Travel Confessions. And if that wasn't enough, stick around because at the very end, we've got a bonus reason that almost no one talks about, but it could absolutely ruin your vacation before it even starts. Let's dive in. Number 1, criminal record strikeout, even a decade later.
Picture this. You're at the cruise terminal, excitement charging through your veins. You've thought of every detail, but a flicker of doubt lingers. Suddenly, an officer gestures for you to step aside. Your heart sinks. Just like that, your dream cruise evaporates before you even set foot on the ship.
Reddit confession from our Travel Confessions. Booked an Alaska cruise, sailed out of Seattle, stops in Canada. Got pulled aside. Apparently, my 10-year-old DUI flagged me as inadmissible, said I couldn't board. Literally broke my heart standing there. Check entry rules for every port in your itinerary, even port stops. Even old convictions like a DUI can get flagged. If needed, apply for criminal rehabilitation or special permits months ahead. 2. When hygiene becomes a denial reason. You arrive at the majestic cruise terminal, luggage in hand, anticipation high. But a stern crew member intercepts you, not because of anything you did, but something you can't always control. Your subtle, but unwelcome, odor. Suddenly, your vacation is in jeopardy. Reddit confession from Our Cruise Fails. Was turned away for a strong smell they said came from a metabolic condition I have. Never thought body odor could get you denied boarding. But there we were. Cruise lines can deny boarding for comfort. If you have any medical condition that might affect odor or hygiene, disclose it before you book and get written confirmation of clearance. Number 3, expired passport nightmare. You're at the terminal, buzzing with excitement. Your carry-on stuffed with swimsuits and sunscreen. The family is already arguing over who gets the balcony bed. Then, at the check-in desk, the agent's smile fades. They flip your passport closed and say the words no traveler ever wants to hear. This passport expired months ago. Just like that, your week in paradise is dead on arrival. Reddit confession from Our Cruise. My wife's passport expired 3 months before our trip. We only realized it at the counter, and the cruise line didn't care. They turned us away instantly, drove home 8 hours in silence. Check your passport at least 6 months before sailing. Some ports won't accept it if it's even close to expiring. Number 4, missing required visas. You've packed, you've planned, and you've been dreaming of exotic ports for months. Then, at the check-in counter, the crew notices you don't have the required visa for one of your destinations. Suddenly, that tropical adventure turns into a bureaucratic brick wall. Your ship sails without you. Reddit confession from Our Travel Hacks. Booked a dream Asia cruise. No one told us we needed a Chinese visa for one stop. They denied us boarding. Thousands gone. Just like that. Always check visa requirements for every port, not just the departure country. Cruise lines won't make exceptions. Number 5, recent legal trouble. The vacation countdown is over. You're standing in line at the port, boarding passes in hand. You're already picturing the first fruity drink with an umbrella in it. But then, security pulls you aside. It turns out a minor legal issue, a missed court date, a probation violation, flags your record. And just like that, you're escorted out while the rest of your group boards without you. Reddit confession from Our Legal Advice. Had a misdemeanor from 2 years back. Didn't think it mattered. Port security denied me boarding. My friends cruised, I flew home. If you have pending legal issues, even minor ones, resolve them before you sail. Some countries and cruise lines won't let you board with an active record. Number 6, pregnancy restrictions. Imagine planning a baby moon at sea. A last relaxing trip before your baby arrives. You're glowing, your suitcase is packed with maternity dresses, and you're dreaming of spa days on deck. But at the terminal, the crew asks for your pregnancy documentation.
When they see your past 24 weeks, their tone shifts. Smiles fade. They shake their heads. You're not boarding. Reddit confession from our baby bumps. I was 26 weeks pregnant and thought I could hide it. Nope. They asked for paperwork and denied me boarding right there. Most cruise lines won't allow boarding past 24 weeks of pregnancy. Always bring medical clearance if you're sailing while expecting. Number 7, health and vaccination issues. You've been saving for this vacation for years. You're at the counter, ready to hand over your documents when they ask for your vaccination record. You hesitate. You didn't realize one of your destinations requires proof. Suddenly, the check-in feels less like a vacation start and more like a health inspection. Minutes later, you're standing outside, watching everyone else board. Reddit confession from our cruise. Didn't know I needed a yellow fever shot for South America. Cruise line flat out denied me. I cried in the parking lot. Check the health requirements of every country on your itinerary. Even if your cruise line doesn't ask, immigration might. Number 8, behavior at the port. You're hyped. Maybe a little too hyped. You've had a couple of celebratory drinks before boarding, and you're laughing loudly with your friends. Then, suddenly, port security pulls you aside. What feels like harmless fun to you looks like disorderly conduct to them. In minutes, your dream vacation turns into a walk of shame back to your car. Reddit confession from our cruise tips. Got drunk at the hotel, carried it into the terminal. Security said I was too intoxicated to board, lost thousands. Lesson learned. Save the drinks for the ship. Any sign of intoxication or unruly behavior at check-in can get you turned away. Number 9, outstanding cruise balance. You're at the terminal, passport ready, bags tagged, family excited. Then the agent looks at their screen, frowns, and says, your final payment didn't clear. You try to argue. It must be a mistake, but the ship doesn't care about banking errors. Without proof of payment, you're not going anywhere. Reddit confession from personal finance. Thought I paid my cruise off. Turns out the last auto payment failed. They refused to let me board. Always double check your final balance and receipts at least 2 weeks before sailing. Don't rely on autopay. Number 10, invalid travel documents for kids. Parents imagine their kids running wild on the ship's water slides, but the trip can end before it starts. At the counter, the agent asks for your child's birth certificate or passport, and it's missing, or worse, invalid. You're left holding a sobbing child in the terminal while the ship sails without you. Reddit confession from our parenting. Brought my kid's hospital birth certificate instead of the state-issued one. They wouldn't accept it. We had to cancel. Kids need the same valid travel documents as adults. Always use official, government-issued copies. Number 11. Failing security checks. The line is long, the luggage scanners hum, and security is routine. Until it isn't. Maybe it's an item in your bag you forgot was there. A pocket knife, restricted medication, or something worse. Suddenly, alarms are going off. Security calls for backup. And instead of heading up the gangway, you're heading back to the parking lot. Reddit confession from our cruise. Had a hunting knife in my checked bag. Totally forgot it was there. They denied me boarding immediately. Triple check your luggage before you pack. Cruise lines have zero tolerance for prohibited item. Now, I know many of you stuck around waiting for the bonus point I teased at the start. And trust me, it's worth it. This is the kind of boarding denial that passengers don't even imagine until suddenly it's happening to them. So buckle up, because this last one could easily happen to you. Bonus point, medical clearance denied. You finally reach the terminal, ticket in hand. But instead of scanning your boarding pass, the staff pulls you aside for a health screening. Maybe you just had surgery, maybe you wrote recent illness on the medical form, or maybe you look a little too pale for their liking. Suddenly, a nurse is asking questions you weren't prepared for. The worst case, the ship's doctor decides you're not fit to sail. And just like that, you're left standing dockside while the ship sails away without you. Thousands gone, vacation over. Reddit confession from our cruise. My dad had a minor heart surgery 5 months earlier. We thought he was fine, but at the terminal, the medical staff refused to clear him. The rest of us boarded. He went back home alone. It was heartbreaking. If you've had any recent surgery, illness, or medical condition, always bring a doctor's note clearing you for travel. Otherwise, the cruise line can and will deny you on the spot. And there you have it. 11 shocking reasons cruises can slam the door in your face, plus that bonus one most people never even see coming. Imagine spending thousands planning for months only to be told you can't step foot on the ship. Brutal, right? Here's the good news. Now you know the rules. You're already ahead of 90% of first-time cruisers who walk in blind. So tell me in the comments, what would be your worst nightmare reason to get denied boarding? I'm curious to see which one made your stomach drop. If you found even one of these tips useful, hit that like button so more cruisers don't make the same mistakes. Subscribe to Cruise Exposed and ring that bell so you never miss the secrets, warnings, and inside scoops the cruise lines don't want you to know. Because the ocean should bring memories, not regrets.